as far as aeroplanes are concerned, of Battle of Britain period Spitfire, this is 602 Squadron. That's a Tamiya one. That is in, the markings evolved very rapidly in a very short period of time. The ones that Nick had earlier on, in 1930, before we went to war, we didn't carry any markings on the tail, only squadron markings. They had little badges on the tail, but it was only when they went to war and arrived in France that they put any markings on the tail. And that were rudder stripes, and they reversed the French one. So the rudder stripes were red, white, and blue. And then later, that came down to a fin flash, which is what is on here.
Yeah.
And then the roundels were originally A and B, you know, red, white, and blue, and yellow. They put yellow surround later on to try to identify it. And then at this stage, they had the black and white identifiers underneath the wings, and then later that got. So this is early Battle of Britain, and these markings were applied late 39, early 40, and then later it went down to just one wing in black and one wing in white, and then they did away with it altogether and just painted it sky.
Sky blue, yeah.
It changed over a matter of weeks, so the orders changed, but of course it depended on the opportunities to be able to repaint them when the aircraft were in action. So we got that one is 602. There's no roundels. There's no roundels under the wings on this one. They deleted the roundels at some stage, so sometimes you've got roundels under the wings with the black and white skin, sometimes not. And then this is 609 Squadron, based at Middle Wallop, and this one has this is slightly later. It's got the sky undersurfaces, and it's got roundels. So, and yes, I've got a few more Spitfires. I won't show you them all because it would be all night. But this one is 152 Squadron. This was based at Warmwell. It was part of the Middle Wallop sector, so that was well. Warmwell was used as a forward deployment station by 609, as well as having 152 in residence. So 152 was based there, and 609 had a standing flight that went down on a daily basis and then returned to Middle Wallop every night during the height of the battle. And then there were 2 flights back at Middle Wallop for defending the airfield and the immediate area, which was just as well because they got dive bombed several times. Stukas and then Dornier 17s came in and attacked. So it was quite an eventful time, really. And then, as we said earlier on, the Battle of Britain really was, you know, won by the Hurricane, wasn't it? This is
they shot down twice as many planes, didn't they?
This is actually the Airfix kit, but it's got the rag wings on it. I don't know if you can see there not got metal wings. It's got the rag wings, but again we've got the fin flash and we've got the sky undersurfaces. Rather unusually, we got a yellow spinner on that aeroplane. This is 400 Squadron. This is a Canadian squadron. They were formed at High Post, and then I think they went to Old Sarum, I think, and got their Hurricanes, and then they flew off to Biggin Hill, I think. You'll see this was during the period when there were no roundels under the wings. But this squadron was infamous because later in after the Battle of Britain, it got involved in a battle called the Battle of Barking Creek. And this was when it was flying from, I think it was flying from Biggin Hill, and it misidentified a flight of Blenheims for Heinkel's.
Oh, that's right.
Shot 2 of them down.
Yeah.
they got a bit carried away, and even as the leader, as the first one went in, he was told, no, they're friendly. They still went in and shot 2 down. So it's a bit unfortunate. They were grounded for a while after that. This is a rather nice, say so. I like the markings on this one. This is 601 Squadron, another auxiliary squadron. This is the armor kit. It's a Polish kit armor.
Oh yeah.
Very nice. With this one, there's no side door on the Hurricane like there is on the Spitfire. It doesn't open all the time. It's an escape panel, but they do take it off to do some maintenance. So I portrayed it here being taken out, which is quite common, and they stuck it on the wing. But unless you do that, you couldn't actually see into the cockpit and see the seat belts, controls, compass, and everything else is in there.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Compass is heading north, by the way. And I'm still working on some Krauts. There's one of the Heinkor's, one of the Stukas that attacked Middle Wallop. That's going to be from Stuka Gjesvada 1. But I have managed to finish off me Heinkel, which I think I showed last time in progress.
Yep.
Nice.
Here it is. Here it is finished.
Very nice.
Very nice. Oh yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I do like the Heinkel.
In all its Teutonic glory. And this
The joys of splinter camouflage as well.
It's got the splinter camouflage. Yeah, I had fun and games with that because when I used Model Master Dunkelgrün, and I also used their Schwarzgrün, but there wasn't much difference.
No.
Very similar, and you couldn't actually see the difference in the shades. So I've always, when I've painted Luftwaffe aircraft in the past, Schwarzgrün has always been a darker colour. But I think some clever arses recently have done some research and decided that Schwarzgrün wasn't all that dark, and so they've lightened it up. But I think that looking at the photographs, there is a distinct difference between the two colours. So that's what I've tried to portray here. And I've used an old pot of Airfix. An old pot of Homebrought Authentics Schwarzgrün, which might be a bit too dark, but it's got the effect that I like anyway.
I got told, Dave, the extra acrylics, extra colour are supposed to be really authentic because I've used those
acrylics,
colours.
yeah, that is acrylic. Yeah, I don't like.
You can get extra colour, which is enamel.
Oh, extra colour, right? Okay,
Yeah,
I might try that.
You get them from Hannants.
Yeah, well, my pot of Humble Authentics is still carrying on quite happily. It's 20 years old, but it's still pretty good. You can see the codes there. It's G1AA, which was the leader of KG, the headquarters stab of KG 55, and that aircraft bombed Uphaven and was shot down on its way east of Salisbury and landed at East Dean Hill Ammunition Depot.
Huh. 2
crew were killed, the rest were captured. So that particular airplane has a local connection.
Okay, cool.
I had problems getting I managed to get the Airfix kit. In actual fact, gives you the G1, and I managed to find an A from another kit, but I couldn't find a black A, so I cut up an N and made it into an A. So unfortunately, I managed to find some, because the underwing, they've got underwing letters as well, so I managed to find those okay. And we got the bomb bay doors open, and I didn't realise there were quite so many dorsal windows on this thing. You can see the guys that's the bomb site, that sort of combing there. There's quite a good view for the bomb aimer and the nose crew under there. You've got a fantastic view from the gondola, and there's a huge window aft of the rear machine gun.
Yeah.
So there was quite an aeroplane I would imagine to fly in. But, well, there we go. So at least I managed to finish that.
That's nice.
But after painting that cockpit, I don't know if I should be doing any more Heinkel 111s at any time soon.